Good evening. Welcome to Netball Central for another action-packed Wednesday night. We've reached the preliminary finals of the Samsung Premier League, and in a funny twist of fate, both UTS St George Sparks and the ERNA Hawks teams will play on the show court tonight. The under-20s, they're up first and ready to kick off this game. UTS lost their match against the minor premiers, the Panthers, last week to find themselves here with one more chance at a grand final spot tonight. The Hawks, they're on a hot streak of 5 wins and have high spirits after they scored a goal in the dying seconds against GWS last week to secure a shot at glory tonight. The Hawks have beaten the Sparks both times they've played them this year, but with the Sparks scoping the rest of the competition, there's no clear favourite. We'll just run quickly through the lineups as we prepare for the match. For the ERNA Hawks, in grey, red and blue, Sandy Attard, the coach, has selected Georgia Westwood in goal shooter, Maddie Eaton in goal attack, Tahisha Hunt in wing attack, Caitlin Fisher in centre, Tian Bradley wing defence, Paige Perotta, the captain, is in goal defence, and Matilda McDonnell is in goalkeeper. For the UTS St George Sparks, Regan Tweddle, the coach, has selected Sophie, I've stuffed them up. I've already stuffed this up. Abby McCulloch, who's our expert tonight. I'm just about to introduce her. Regan Tweddle is the coach of UTS St George Sparks, but we'll run through the ERNA Hawks lineup. Sophie Dwyer, goal shooter. Lauren Baxter, goal attack. Ebony Bernard, wing attack. Capri Vidler in centre. Chelsea Lockery in wing defence. Denny Ross in goal defence. And Olivia Coleman in goalkeeper. Sorry about that, Abby.
Oh, what can you do? Sometimes you get so excited you miss it up.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had an awesome time a couple of weeks ago, and so I'm very happy to be back, especially during the preliminary finals where everything's on the line.
Very exciting match we've got here tonight, and really funny that both clubs in their teams have made this section of the competition.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting night with, obviously, as you said, the ERNA Hawks and UTS playing in both age divisions, so I'm excited to see what happens across both ages.
Sophie Dwyer is missing a shot at goal. So we see Tilly McDonald providing some support to get the ball for the UTS St George Sparks up through the midcourt. Tahisha Hunt, now Maddie Eden, right hand side, quick back with Hunt. Lovely goal. Fantastic skill, Abby.
Yeah, that was a nice high shot from Maddie Eaton, who's one of the N-Swiss girls, so I've seen her around the traps for a while, so she's been working hard at training and seems to be paying off in the first few minutes.
Westwood missing her attempt. So these lineups are not that different to the ones we saw last week for their respective games. The ERNA Hawks have exactly the same starting 7 as last week, and they were the same back in round 14 when they beat the UTS St George Sparks last. That was only 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, UTS St George Sparks, they've got 2 differences to the team that went down to the ERNA Hawks. Ash Selwyn started in goalkeeper last time and Caitlin Campbell in centre, so they seem to have come out with a really strong starting 7 tonight. And the only difference was that Caitlin Campbell started in that centre position last week. Lovely defence by the ERNA Hawks. Olivia Coleman took some really crucial intercepts last week and really prevented GWS from feeding into the circle. So she's a big factor for the Hawks.
Yeah, it just looks like there's a massive amount of people out on court at the moment. It looks like there's more than there should be, but it's just the defence that UTS are putting on, and unfortunately they just gave away a penalty which released the pressure. So they need to make sure they stay in play if they're going to continue to turn the ball over.
Dwyer, top of the circle to Bernard. Feeding to Baxter. Now with the shot. Make that 2. UTS up by 1. You can see we've got a roving camera tonight. It's very exciting. He's taking the long route into the circle. Dwyer. Not used to seeing the fans' faces up so close.
Well, they look like they're having a good time, so that's good.
Lovely split stance by Westwood. Baseline shot. Up and in. Keeping that 1 goal buffer. Vidler. Lovely feed. Great placement, Abby.
Yeah, and it was really good work there by, who's playing goal attack there? Lauren. She was taking that drive along the baseline and then she just stopped and propped, and that was that change of direction that allowed that feed to go in up and over the top, and it was perfect placement, as you said.
Westwood's attempt rolls in. Just laughing because I've clearly written both of the lineups back to front, so poor Abby's confused.
Yes, it's definitely not my fault.
Happy to take the brunt of that one. Fiddler, Dwyer, top of the circle, just offloading to Bernard. And now Baxter, a little way out, left-hand side. No problems at all. Scores level.
Oh, there's Claire O'Brien. She's ready for the next game.
Maddie Eden, oh my goodness, keeping the ball in play and somehow moving it over towards Westwood's grasp. Ends with a point. Some fantastic play very early.
That was a great finish considering she ended up on the deck there, so she was able to compose herself and just take the shot. Again, that's that penalty I was talking about earlier. They've got amazing pressure on in defence and then they're just releasing it by giving away a penalty.
Quick work between Vidler and Dwyer. Shot goes in. So watching these two warm up tonight, UTS had sort of this little shooting competition going. Very calm. Nice vibe about it. But up the ERNA ends, Dwyer was just taking shot after shot from all different angles of the circle all by herself. So clearly determined and just wanting to get the momentum happening before the game starts.
Well, shooters are there to shoot, and if they're not going to be popping them in, they're not doing their job, unfortunately. So it's good that she's nice and focused because she hasn't missed yet.
I don't think she missed during the warm-up too, if that helps. The ball was a little out of Baxter's reach. And now the Sparks have a throw in. Our umpires, Emma Davey and Hayley Burgess tonight. Taylor Favell, the reserve. Tahisha Hunt doing well on the drive. Maddie. Hunt. Back to Eden. Now Hunt looking to offload. Stuck for option. She's in the pocket now. Eden with a shot. Decides to give it to Westwood. Great work creating some space outside a defender. Goals back to back for the Sparks. Long ball, straight into Dwyer, straight through the hoop.
Yeah, Tilly just saw something happening outside there. She came out to have a look, but she left a little bit too early. So one of the keys for defenders, you shouldn't leave until the ball's in the air, but unfortunately she came out a bit early and it went over her head.
So it's early days in this game, but pretty fast play already, Abby.
Yeah, they've all come out really quick, actually, so I'm wondering if they can sustain it over the course of the 4 quarters, but I guess we will see, and it's whichever team that can keep it up for the longest, I think is going to get the win here. Great
intensity about the game, but they want to be careful that doesn't turn into mistakes, just like that one. So we see the ERNA Hawks with a throw-in through Chelsea Lockery. Up and over, Maddie Eden. Tiana Bradley almost stuffed that up. Trying to steal the ball off her.
No one was moving then, so we didn't have any options. So, as I was saying earlier, UTS have amazing defence happening at the moment. They're just so intense, so we need to get moving. The Hawks do, otherwise they're not going to be able to get the ball through.
And Sparks are a club that's known for their great defensive work. Up and over, Fisher. That was great work by Lockery, just putting pressure on the centre, Fisher then.
Yeah, I was really impressed by that, actually. That's probably the worst place to defend as a wing defender or a defensive centre, going into that pocket, but she committed and in she went, got the tip and the turnover. Unfortunately, they threw it away a little bit further down the court.
Blink and the Hawks have given it up. Fisher to Hunt. Audience happy with that call. Now Westwood baseline. Little buffer here, 3 goals now. Tip from Bradley. Strong arms in front.
ERNA are just struggling to get past their transverse line at the moment.
And that was an easy intercept for Baxter.
Very, so let's see if they can convert this. They need it, it's their centre pass.
Vidler, strong shoulder pass. Baxter now to Bernard. Over to Vidler in the pocket. Baxter pushing through. It's been pulled up. Sparks get the ball. Hunt unhappy with the options. Little way out, Westwood decides to offload to Eden.
Dropped it cold there, I think, but they'll get the ball back anyway.
Just underneath the post. And that was a Hawks centre. Lovely work by Coleman.
Yeah, that was beautifully set up. That long drive into the pocket, Coleman just ate it alive.
She's a talent, part of the Tall Athletes program this year.
Yeah, also another N-Swiss scholarship holder, so I've seen her around working hard as well, so it'll be interesting to see how she warms into the game.
The Hawks aren't dying off. That was a UTS centre, so stealing some off each other at this stage. Vidler. Long. Oh, that was very lucky. Bernard ends up with it, but Tilly had a hand to it. The Sparks are definitely stuck at the moment. They're being squished up in their attack. Still managing to get it to their shooters. But the Hawks doing really well to compress them all into the middle.
Yeah, they are doing a really good job of that. What opened up there for them is that we managed to get a screen on the goal defence, so it opened up Maddie Eaton on the baseline all by herself, so they need to try and avoid that.
And Tilly McDonald really is here tonight to win. She's been in everything so far. Fire in the belly as the Sparks head up the court. And Westwood might want to start heading back into the circle. There we go, back in. Very lucky that Eden got that ball.
Yeah, that was a very interesting lead up to that goal. That took them a long time and they used a lot of patience, but there was some interesting choices that they did. They need to look down the court a bit more than side to side, which they're currently doing.
There's a bit of flare happening. I'm not sure if it's because they're trying to play faster than they used to, or if they're just trying to make quick decisions. There we go, there's a mistake. But it's clear that Eden and Westwood really know what the other is about to do, or have some sort of expectation, because they're being able to correct these mistakes that are happening. Yeah,
absolutely. That was just a miscommunication there. I think Eden should have put that shot up. As I said earlier, shooters are out there to shoot. If you're in a shooting range, put the shot up and follow your shot in if you think you're not going to get it in. So don't mess around with it too much.
Sophie Dwyer is listening. No hesitation. Way out.
Very cool, calm and collected, isn't she? Not much, not much emotion going on, but nothing wrong with that.
There we go. That's the end of the first quarter. That went quickly.
Very.
So the UTS St George Sparks are up by 3 goals over the ERNA Hawks. Now, you've been given a new coach.
We have, yes. Very exciting.
Tell us all about Brioni Ackle.
Yeah, I'm really excited, actually. It's been an interesting few weeks not having anyone there directing us and letting us know what's going on. So Bry's come in and she's going to bring a whole new spin to the whole team and the culture at the Swifts. So I'm really excited for that. And, you know, Bry's played for the Swifts in the past as well, so she understands what it's like to be a player at this level. So I feel like we're going to go through a lot of changes, but they're going to be really positive.
Well, last time you were here, you were talking about the Swifts wearing yellow and blue. And I was looking up photos of Brioni just today, and she was wearing that very dress.
Yep.
Played from 1999 to 2004. And is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and previously Swifts coach, so also took a bunch of players over to New Zealand earlier this year for the Super Club Series.
She did, and a couple of those girls were not only Swifts players, but they were also Swifts, so they've already had a little bit of a taste of what Bry's about, which is exciting. I've never had Bry as a coach, just a little bit here and there, so it's really exciting to have something fresh and something new come in and a bit of a change. There's nothing wrong with change, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's as good as a holiday, they say.
Well, that's right. Well, Paige Hadley was here last week and sort of gave us a little clue. Well, you know, it'll be soon, but we didn't realise it was going to be the very next day. So sneaky one by Paige. But, it was interesting also with that Super Club appointment that Julie Fitzgerald and Rob Wright went over to New Zealand with her. And then when Rob Wright departs, she takes over the reins. So they've obviously got a good culture happening with New South Wales coaches, whether you're up against each other or, you know, working together for the same goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Bri wouldn't have had any insight into what was going to happen in the next few weeks when they went over to New Zealand, but she would have learned a lot from both Rob and Julie over there as, you know, as the head coach of that team, but also having those two mentoring her. So she would have taken a lot away from that, and obviously her role at NSWIS has also been, or played a big part in her taking this next step in her career and also taking on a high performance environment like we have at the Swifts. So yeah, so it's obviously a bit weird now looking back, considering that Rob was the head coach over there, and then they've done a bit of a changeover. But it is what it is, and we're really excited as a playing group.
Now, the Swifts obviously had a big player exodus last year and only won the last season, I should say, and only won 3 games. But
was it only 3?
Yeah, apparently Brioni's goal is just to make the finals next season. So it's definitely doable. You guys have got some great talent in your stocks.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you know, we were talked about being the young and experienced team this past season just been, and, you know, it essentially was true on paper, but that didn't really sit well with me because, you know, every time I take the court, I want to win, and there was games that we definitely should have won, I think, this year, but we let them slide when we really shouldn't have, and if we had to put those points on the board, I think we would have played finals this year, just gone. So it really is a big goal of ours to sit in those top couple of positions this year and play the finals, and then start cracking on that premiership that I'm desperate for.
Now back to this game here. Are you expecting any changes for these sides?
I don't think so, not just yet. I think it's been a bit of a flurry of a first quarter, being obviously it's do or die. Mm-hmm. You need to get out there and give it your best. So I think they'll let this team settle into what's going on out on court, and I think we'll see a little bit more calmer quarter this quarter from both teams. And as I said, it's going to be the team that settles in quickest that's going to get this win, because it's been a bit of a flurry up and down the court.
It's interesting because starting the game, it didn't seem like either of the team had any nerves about them. They all came out so strong and ready to play.
Yeah, and I put that down to a good warm-up and probably good preparation leading into the game. They both obviously played last week, one of them getting the win, one of them getting the loss. So one of them wants to continue that, one of them wants to rectify it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there we go. Up 3 in the first quarter, the Sparks over ERNA. ERNA with the first goal for the quarter. The Sparks now heading up towards their goal circle. No changes either side, as suspected.
Again, the ERNA Hawks just getting a little bit stuck on their transverse line.
Ball ending up in the Sparks' hands as a result.
Yeah, they just need a little bit more movement down there, I think. And they're not getting it at the moment, so someone needs to take control and create some space for someone else to move into. At the moment, they're just a bit stationary.
Good contest from Lockery, but clearly Fisher's ball. Lovely take. The missed attempt. Turning a rebound into points, Georgia Westwood.
Yeah, that was a great rebound, because I think Maddie Eaton knew that as soon as that left her hands, it wasn't going in. So she was very thankful for her shooting partner to be there to take the rebound.
Oh, I have no idea how that ended back up in Hawks' hands.
Bit of an overhead.
Ebony Bernard literally throwing the ball over her head back into play. We've seen a changeover already. Eaton just finding some space behind her player. And she uses her body very well to just move around the circle, doesn't she, Eaton?
Yeah, she does, especially for she's quite lean and little, so she's able to hold her body really strong, which is really impressive, to be honest, because usually little ones get knocked around a bit, but not Maddie. She's holding herself nice and strong in there.
Good defence by the Sparks is keeping the Hawks at a distance, but they're still getting them in. See some of the Opens players for the Sparks watching on. Keeper caught out of the circle.
Very casual one-handed take there.
No problems about it, was there?
No.
So Georgia Westwood scored 26 out of 32 last week for 81% accuracy. She was the most accurate in the Sparks side. And Maddie Eden was a massive factor as well. She was started in goal attack, came into wing attack for the second quarter, and then they moved her back into that goal attack position for the third quarter, which was the best move, in my opinion. Ended up shooting 11 out of the 15 shots she put up for 73% too. So there's some good accuracy up the Sparks end.
Don't you just love it when your shooters are accurate? I know
I do.
You
need them to be, absolutely.
It's a good hold there by Coleman.
Lovely shot in front. Caitlin Campbell just yelling out some enthusiasm to the team. Westwood, little way out.
Beautiful shot.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, I think Tilly was a bit lucky there. She came out a bit early, but she managed to get herself back in and get her hand to the ball.
Step by Bradley. Yeah, neither McDonald or Dwyer read that pass right. And the Sparks really are having to be creative in attack. Working twice as hard to get around. We've got windows open today. The back, some nice air coming through.
Guess it was that 32-degree heat.
Maddie Eaton single-handedly turning offense into attack. Fantastic effort.
That's much better attack from the ERNA Hawks. Got a little bit more depth off the centre pass and are able to open up the circle a little bit easier.
Sophie Dwyer's sort of been kept out of her shooting capabilities a little bit because they're defending her so well. And usually she is their holding shooter. So last week she got 35 out of 41 shots she put up, 85%, another really accurate shooter, which is why both these teams are here, right? You've got to have accurate shooters. And Baxter only put up 21 shots compared to her 41 last week. So the fact that Baxter's now having to do a lot more of the shooting, it's good to see that she's been able to get them through as well.
Yeah, I think that's just testament to what McDonald's doing back there at goalkeeper. But it's also very much what's happening out in front of her. They're holding the ball up, they're limiting their space onto the circle edge, and that allows her job as goalkeeper to be a little bit easier.
No goal.
Got to set the penalty right. That one counts though.
Back to back, almost exactly the same shot. Good contest between Lockery and Hunt. Top of the circle, Eaton in front. Lovely work. Push their lead out, the Sparks. They're now in front by 9 goals.
Yeah, I think we might see some changes to the ERNA Hawks in the coming quarters. They seem to be getting their hands on ball in defence, but they just can't get it down to their shooters. If you can't get the ball to the shooters, you're no chance of scoring any goals, so they need to sort that out.
Are you thinking mid-court?
Mid-court, yeah, I think so. They just need a little bit more penetration down there. They're travelling too much sideline along the transverse line. They need to get some depth and get onto the circle edge to feed Dwyer. She's the one putting up their shot, so she needs the ball.
Bernard in the mid-court, now to Baxter. Fiddler with it, forced back, looking for a way to get rid of the ball. 3 seconds, here we go, Dwyer.
I think that's her first shot this quarter, so just goes to show that she's not getting enough service out in front.
Did well then though to confuse the defender and then push forward.
Yeah, she popped into some really good space, but the ball was on the circle edge, so it made it a lot easier for her. So that's where they need to be feeding the ball from.
Held ball. We've seen that play happen a few times now. Bernard moving into the left-hand side of mid-court.
Yeah, they just missed that. They needed to let that ball go long. But for some reason they're trying to play sideways, and that's just not working for them.
Coleman telling her defending partner, up. No
There it
jumping
is.
this
Oh, I
time.
thought they missed it again there, but they made it, got there. Beautiful shot. They're scoring goals whenever they get it into their shooters. They're just not getting it there enough. So that service out in front really needs to improve.
Long work from Bradley to Eden. That's to Westwood. No one there to take the rebound. No one to pass to. It's gone into the midcourt. Very lucky to end up in Bernard's hands. Dwyer wasn't going to waste that opportunity.
No, and again, that's another example. They've got the ball to the shooters and they haven't missed. Lockery was very unlucky not to get that intercept in the midcourt there. She read it really well, but just tipped it over the back to the wrong team.
And Dwyer gets another back-to-back. 6 goals difference. 4.5 minutes of play. UTS moved to 26. Really good contest between Fisher and Vidler happening at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed either of them at the moment, so they've just cancelled each other out a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there.
Baxter.
Great rebound.
Lovely work behind the post.
Won't miss twice.
Still within 6. Got a good crowd happening here at Netball Central tonight. Split stance. Shot, right hand side. Adds one to the tally. Baxter, long to Vidler. Trying to make Dwyer move into a space she wasn't. And as a result, the Sparks pick up the ball.
That was really good defence from those two circle defenders for UTS. They worked well together, read the space. McDonald pushed Dwyer into that backspace that wasn't really there, and the intercept came to them.
Too easy for Westwood. Up by 8 now, the Sparks. Fantastic rebounds. No panic either when taking it. Just quietly waiting for it to pop into her hands. Checking her feet were inside the plate.
I think she knew she was the only one there expecting it. No, everyone else thought it was going to bounce out, I think. So the fact that she was there, I just said patiently waiting, was great.
Dwyer edges in. Constantly amazed by the skills of these young players.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with how quick this game's been played at and the speed that they've managed to maintain so far. So the skill's pretty good as well. There's been a few loose balls here and there, but that happens in every game. So, yeah, I'm really impressed.
Dwyer allowed to pop forward. And she's not going to miss. So it doesn't count. Force backward, McDonald. Turnover.
Oh, a couple of offensive contacts there. That's interesting. I love it when the attackers get pulled for contact. Usually it's their fault. This would be an extremely handy goal for ERNA. They've got 10 seconds.
Doing well on the drive. Just one step faster than their opponent.
Beautiful.
Lovely shot. And there we go. 30-22. As Sparks lead the ERNA Hawks. 11 goals apiece for the ERNA Hawks, Abby.
Yeah, very consistent. Like I said, they need to get that ball to the circle edge so they can feed it up into Dwyer. The only way she's going to be scoring goals is to have ball in her hand, and at the moment they're just not servicing her properly. So I'll be interested to see if there's any changes to their mid-court.
All right, well, Claire O'Brien is playing the next game for the UTS St George Sparks, obviously your pal at New South Wales Swifts, and she's going to give us a little preview of her expectations for tonight's game.
Claire, you played the 2017 Samsung Premier League season with the UTS St George Sparks. How's it gone?
Yeah, really well. We've got a game tomorrow against ERNA. Should be a good game, and yeah, I've really enjoyed being part of the team and being welcomed back into the Sparks environment.
So you're in the middle of the finals campaign at the moment with the Sparks. Last week you played Manly Warringah Sapphires. How did that go?
Yeah, so yeah, obviously we lost, so not ideal, but yeah, it means we get another game under our belt, which is always a good thing, and yeah, it's very positive in our camp at the moment moving forward, so yeah, we're really excited to hit the court.
Tomorrow night you guys will be playing the ERNA Hawks for a spot in the grand final. What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, ERNA always come out pretty physical, so I think getting prepared for that, and they are quite a smart team, so their combinations are quite strong. So we've been doing a lot of work against how we can get around that, and yeah, we're just got to play our own game and take it each centre pass at a time.
So in your team you have quite a few of the Giants training partners and players. How have you found the mix between the Swifts and the Giants?
Yeah. So yeah, we've got quite a diverse group. It's really cool to be able to play with them, considering we're pretty much enemies during the season. So getting that opportunity is really cool, and being able to work with them day in, day out. So yeah.
What would it mean to you if you guys were able to win this year's Sunshine Premier League?
Obviously it's one of our goals since the team's come together, and yeah, it'd be really cool to get that under our belt, and I think everyone's worked really, really hard. So yeah, just be the cherry on top sort of thing.
How beneficial is it in the off-season to have another elite competition of netball to actually go to?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, I came back from Botswana and was kind of straight into the Sparks training environment, which was really cool that, you know, everyone was really welcoming and, you know, I guess let me even come back into the team. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with them, and yeah, it's really great, and yeah, I'm just excited for the game tomorrow night.
As teams preparing just to come back out on court. Lots of team chats happening. Really interesting because both of these teams are really strong in the third quarter. Last week, that was the best 15 minutes that they had, so I'm expecting big things ahead of this one, Abby.
Yeah, they say that the third quarter is the championship quarter. Games are won and lost there. I think that's changing as the game becomes more modern, but in history suggests that it is. So it'll be interesting to see how ERNA come out in this third quarter, because they really let it slide in that second. And as I said, I think we'll see some changes through the mid-court. I think we need to see some changes through the mid-court.
Well, they scored 6 more goals than their opponent GWS last week in this next quarter, 17-11, and used the turnovers that they got through Olivia Coleman to really extend their lead by 9 goals within the first 5 minutes. So if they come out, I'm expecting it to be super early. As for UTS, Oh, it was incredible. We had Paige Hadley here and she couldn't believe it either. They scored 18 goals in that third quarter. It was phenomenal. And they were only behind by 1 at three-quarter time, 34-33. So in that quarter, Maddie Eden, we mentioned before, moved back into goal attack, and Tahisha Hunt, who'd spent some time on the bench, moved back into wing attack. So, you know, it's going to be tough. This quarter, I think, will be make or break for both teams.
Yeah, I think so. And as I said, the ERNA Hawks really need to bridge the gap this quarter, otherwise it could get away from them. But I'll be interesting to see how Maddie Eaton goes this quarter. I think she's been very dominant so far. She's very tall, very athletic. She's been good on attack and defence, so she needs to try and keep that up as well. So hopefully we'll see some quality netball continue.
Any standout for the Hawks?
I like Olivia Coleman. I don't think she's been getting the service she needs out in front of her. She needs her wing defence and goal defence and defensive centre to really be pushing up so she can come out and get those intercepts, because every time that's happened she's managed to get her hand to ball. So let's see if we can see Olivia Coleman come into the game a little bit more in this next quarter.
As you see our roving camera in the middle of the Hawks as the Opens players. It'll be here at 8:40.
Couple of familiar faces there.
There's Amy Somerville. I'm still surprised that she's come back for this match. Obviously your mate moving to Brisbane.
So she left on Thursday, so we had a bit of a goodbye dinner the other weekend, and she was on her way on Thursday, so I'm interested to see that she's back as well. I thought they might try and get her back for this one. It's a big game, so yeah, so I'll have to catch up with her after the game, see what Brisbane's like. But
I was very surprised talking to Jenny Webster, because I said, you know, obviously you haven't got Amy this week, and she said, yes we do. I thought, what? So she caught the plane back apparently just for this match, which is pretty dedicated.
Very dedicated, very dedicated. So hopefully she's not too jet lagged and she'll be able to go out there and play a good game. So I think the Opens game is going to be very interesting. There's a lot of familiar faces out there, a lot of girls that play against each other at a higher level, and we'll see who copes with it the best.
As we see the Hawks just running through their drills now, keeping warm. UTS still in a huddle. If you were Sandy Attard right now, Abby, would you be worried for the Hawks?
I would only be worried if the Hawks weren't to come out and actually give this next 5 minutes a good red hot crack, because, as I said, they had some really good patches through that second quarter. They got themselves back within 6, and then it managed to get back out to 7, so by the looks of that. So they need to try and claw this back in, but it looks like they've made some changes. We'll just wait till they take the court. So I think those changes through the mid-court might really be beneficial to them.
We'll check those quickly before we start this third quarter. So coming into the third quarter, the Hawks have made 2 changes. Ebony Bernard has pushed into the centre position, meaning Capri Vidler is now on the bench. And we've seen Riley Quinn come on in wing attack. Everyone else remains unchanged. And the Sparks are the same starting 7. So Quinn sort of putting the ball where she wanted Dwyer to end up.
That was a much better build-up, I thought. I still think they can look further down the court a bit sooner. They're still trying to look sideways, but they managed to hang on to it, get it to the circle edge, and it was a nice clean feed into Dwyer. Another win for Coleman.
Good ball. Bernard to Quinn.
Nice, good depth.
Fantastic rebound, McDonald. Hunt driving through. So the Sparks pick up a shutter pass. Rebounded by Westwood. Good backing up by the Sparks.
A little bit of hesitation there in Maddie Egan's shot. Never looked like it was going in, but as you said, great rebound.
Good tip from Perotta. Picks up the ball for the Sparks. Fisher now. Hunt offside, unfortunately. Tip from Fisher. Sees the ball go out. Good disruption of play. Hawks throw in. Quinn. Good context between Baxter and Perotta, but Perotta's come up with it. And now Westwood's right underneath. Very quick play, Abby.
Yeah, looks like the UTS Sparks are getting on top here now. They've just come out with a little bit more spark. Can I say that? Is that really bad?
Yeah, we encourage puns.
But yeah, they just seem to be way on top now, and hopefully the ERNA Hawks can pull themselves back together, but it's looking a bit dire for them at the moment, unfortunately.
Right-hand side, Eden. One-handed shot.
Biggest margin we've seen so far.
Delane getting the ball back to the centre. Pocket now, Dwyer. Quinn. Ball too big for Baxter.
Just nothing's looking easy at the moment for the ERNA Hawks.
No one in front. No options to move forward. Hunt's pushing now.
Oh, that's unlucky. Beautiful front position there by Dwyer, and she just tiptoed offline.
Gaining balance as she's falling out the side. Hunt. In front by 11 now, the Sparks. Just over 10 minutes to play in this third quarter.
And we're seeing a change here.
Oh, it looks like lots of changes are happening.
Bit of
Selwyn's
yeah,
coming on into goalkeeper. Bradley off. And McDonald just panicking a little because no one's put her back bib on. She's now in goal defence. Paige Perotta, the captain, also moving to wing defence. So 3 changes there.
Yeah, big change in the back line there. They must be trying some things out. I think they're feeling relatively confident here. I don't want to put the mocker on them too early. There's still another quarter and a half to play, but just testing some things out in the back line.
Regaining the ball to Quinn. Oh, and there's been a change in shooting. So Delilah Coley snuck on in goal shooter.
We missed her in all that rush that we saw from the UTS team.
Which means Dwyer's come off.
Oh, there's that sneaky bounce pass from the defenders.
Beautifully done. So there were no changes made to the shooting lineup for the Hawks last week. Obviously, they feel that a change will be beneficial here.
Yeah, I think McDonald was just getting on top of Dwyer there, and they did need that change, but potentially could have kept her on considering they've made changes in the back end as well, but we'll see how this plays out.
So Coley played for the Sutherland Stingrays last year.
That's a beautiful feed.
Now with the Hawks. Did well to drag Selwyn out of it.
That was probably their best passage of play from the ERNA Hawks. It'd be nice to see them continue that for a couple more.
There's plenty of time. There's 8 minutes left in this quarter. Bit of confusion there. Still stuck in the same position, the Hawks. And McDonald doing really well. In front for that contest, but it's been pulled up. Hawks get a shot at goal. Coley to take it. No problems at all.
The umpire helping them down the court this time. Can't be doing that. You've got to stay in play where you can. So that's just too easy.
Now up by 12. Bernard, long feed. Baxter now in front. Around the rim and in. That was lovely work. There's glimpses of great stuff happening in the Hawks attack.
Yeah, it's when they look long as well. So in this first half and most of this quarter, they've been looking too much sideways. They need to look down the court. That's the only way they're going to get it into the post. And those two last feeds that have gone in, they've been from quite a while out, but they've been looking down. That's perfect. Good pass and cut.
Bernard to Coley. And again, Coley taking the shot. Fantastic rebound by McDonald. The ball's loose. And it'll go out. Bit of confusion there about the decision as to whose throw it is in.
Can't argue with the umpire.
That's right. Quick give and go between Hunt and Westwood. And the shot bounced out into Eden's hands.
ERNA really need to make sure they're there for the rebounds. These two shooters from UTS haven't missed much, but every time they've missed, one of them has been there to mop it up. So they really need to box out and get themselves up in a good spot for those rebounds.
Quick work, Hunt to Westwood. Feeding as she fell over there. Nif's lead has pushed out a lot now. It's 14 goals. Lockery calling for options. Quinn. Quick work into the circle. No Hawks up for the rebounds.
I think McDonald's gotten every single rebound in there just about tonight.
He's very hungry. Getting a run now too in that goal defence position.
Yeah, I'm sure she's quite happy to be out of the confines of that 1/3, so she'll be enjoying herself out there.
Fisher, well done on the feed, just nice and low. Out of Coleman's reach. Arms from Paige Perotta, deflecting the ball. Bernard stuck for an option, goes back to Quinn. Baxter. Almost losing the ball there. They've been lucky, the Hawks. Selwyn's doing really well, so is Fisher in defence. And Baxter adds another to their tally. It's 43-28 now.
It's just hard work down there for ERNA at the moment. A lot of hard work. Nothing's coming to them easily. Oh.
It'd be almost too easy if that had gone in, Abby.
I would have loved if that had gone in. I love that sort of stuff.
Coley. That ball was already thrown before Baxter was ready, and they're lucky that they've got a throw in here to correct that. Nice work, pass between shooters.
We haven't seen many of those today, shooter-to-shooter passes. Not from ERNA anyway. Oh, another change here.
Coley, left-hand side. Hunt, outside. Gets it to Eden.
There we go. There's one of those rebounds they needed.
Unable to convert. Hawks on the end of it. Tilly McDonald's arms.
Tilly's been in everything tonight. Everything at both goalkeeper and goal defence.
Hard on the drive, Quinn. Now Coley. Oh, quick feet, looks like a step. Tip to it. Sparks have picked it up. Less than a minute on the clock. Westwood now. Pops out. Good contest for it. Coleman's given the ball. Sparks opens play, is unhappy about that.
Plenty of time to score still.
Up and over. Lockery to Bernard. Quinn eager to take the pass. She'll go double with Coley.
Oh, she's got to put that up.
Bernard out the side now. And McDonald's won it back. Oh, there's going to be a throw in.
That was good job by those two circle defenders.
And the Sparks, they just wasted the Hawks' time, didn't they? They just niggled enough to stop them getting a chance to put a shot up.
Absolutely. A few less goals scored that quarter, but still relatively consistent from UTS up there. They're constantly scoring in the mid-teens. whereas ERNA didn't even make it to 10, so that's a bit disappointing from their point of view.
So lowest scoring quarter so far. And there'll be some hard talks done at this break, I imagine, Abby.
Yes, I can imagine there will be as well. Absolutely. Well, let's be real, 13 goals isn't really that much in a quarter of netball. I've been involved in games where I've been up by 10 and lost by 8, so that's a major turnaround in a quarter. So anything can happen. It's just whether or not ERNA is willing to come out and put all that out on court. They've got 15 minutes essentially left of their season at this rate, and if they want to play in the grand final, they need to put it all out there.
It's tough because what do you say at this point without pushing too far as a coach? What do you say to get that fire going back in the belly, but not put so much pressure on that they're scared when they head back out on the court?
Well, I don't think it matters at this point. They're already losing, so I reckon just about
treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about anything can be said at this point in time because the result's not going to change unless they change what they're doing out on court. So they probably do need a little bit of a stern talking to. Not that they've been playing terribly. I think they're just being outclassed today by UTS, which is unfortunate considering ERNA's beaten them both times they've played throughout the season. But that's the way finals netball goes, and it's whatever team turns up on the night that's going to get the win.
All right, well, there's netball happening at Netball Central during the week. Non-Premier League, the Metro League Grand Finals have been happening all week, and we've got some results already. So we'll play this little video for you about what's going on in that competition. Some massive changes to the ERNA Hawks side heading in this final quarter. We've got Olivia Coleman in goal defence now. Actually haven't seen her play in that position before, so it'll be interested to see how she goes with some more running involved, allowed to be a bit more part of the game. We've also seen Sophie Cavern, who came on in that third quarter in goal defence, move into wing defence now.
That's an interesting change. I was really enjoying the Lochbury-Hunt battle at the wing attack, wing defence. I might be a bit biased being a wing defender myself, but I thought she was doing a really good job. But I'm not the coach, so I don't make the decisions, so we'll see what happens.
And the other change they've made is Macy Duncan has now come on in goalkeeper. And Dwyer's back too in goal attack now. So lots of changes. Bax has gone off. But Polly's kept her spot in that goal shooting position. As Sparks. They remain unchanged. Still the same starting.
That's a good start there. Who just hit? Macy Duncan. That's a great start by Macy.
And Sparks still the same from last quarter, I should say. And they made that change in defence. And 3 players moving around.
Yeah, I think you'll see that they'll run this last combination out to the final whistle here, because unless there's something drastic happening from the ERNA Hawks, I'm not sure that this game will, or the result will change. So they'll run this team out, and they'll hope that next week it can do the job against the Panthers.
It's interesting because both these teams have met 4 times in Premier League history. Each have got 2 wins. And as you mentioned before, Abby, the ERNA Hawks got up over the Sparks both times they played them in 2017. Just 2 weeks ago, they recorded another win. But it's been all about the Sparks tonight. They've just been so dominant.
Extremely dominant across the court.
Maddie Eaton picking up a loose ball.
And they're going to play this all the way out. You can see that Peralta's the only one on that transverse line at the moment. She's there on her own, helping her teammates out. There's not an ERNA player in sight defending her.
Nice work from Westwood. Going for the rebound and tipping it into Maddie Eaton's hands. And that was a Hawk centre. So at this stage in the game, with this deficit, you need to be able to convert your own centre passes.
That's the key to winning now for the UTS Spark. They convert every single one of their centre passes. Anything else is a bonus.
Dwyer. Long ball to Bernard. Fisher was able to just get in front. And Colley's out of the circle. And unfortunately, Quinn, trying to keep the ball in play, has passed it to Perrotta.
UTS have just been over every single loose pass today. They've been hungrier for it.
Reading the play exceptionally well too.
Great pass and cut there from Hunt.
Just sitting here shaking my head, because she's fantastic. Doesn't matter from what angle or distance, Maddie Eaton's been able to get them in most of the time tonight. Duncan with the throw-in. Coleman. Now Bernard. Duncan to Cavern.
They're just really struggling to make inroads here. They were lucky to get away with that one.
Coleman didn't even see the challenge coming. Less aware of the space around them, the Hawks have been.
Yeah, they've been very one out, so it's meant that there's only really been one option, so it's very easy for that UTS Sparks to read where the ball's going. And because of that, they've been able to get their hands on a lot of ball.
48-33, the Sparks lead the Hawks. And we've got less than 10 minutes of play.
That's a great feed.
Selwyn on the rebound. 2 players going for the same ball. Fisher opting to duck out there.
I'd duck out there too if Tilly was on the same line as me. She's a little bit bigger than their centre, so she ducked out of the way.
Edging towards 50. Tip from Bernard. Quinn feeding from edge of the circle. Now Dwyer through the hoop. Quinn driving hard. Just unable to get forward. She's got it now. To Coley, baseline, left-hand side of the post. Ball went out. McDonald putting a ball up into the midcourt. Fisher, Hunt. McDonald, Fisher, Eaton. And this is becoming all too easy for the Sparks now.
Yeah, that was a great passage of play from the Sparks. No ball was contested. They'd done a lot of hard work off the ball so that they were free when it was their turn to receive. But in saying that, I don't think the ERNA Hawks were quite up to the task to making up with them just then.
So 7.5 minutes of play. Bernard, pocket.
Everyone's on the same side of the court.
Quinn, Coley.
That's the better shot.
And Delilah Coley's been good for the Hawks ever since she's come on, but it's almost been a little bit too late.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit too late. She's missed a couple of important shots that really needed to go in. But in saying that, her movement's been really good. She's presenting well. And she's a big target in there for them as well. So just all seems to be unravelling at the moment for the ERNA Hawks.
I don't know if I would have put Dwyer back into that goal attack position when they knew Tilly McDonald was already in goal defence and that she struggled to get away from her in the other quarters that they had her in that position, goal shooter and goalkeeper.
Yeah, Tilly's been all over the court tonight. It just seems like she's been everywhere. So she's had a really good game at both goalkeeper and goal defence. And you're probably right. She was all over Dwyer back at goalkeeper and might not have been the smartest move.
Up in attack. Long ball, Perrotta to McDonald. Westwood outside the circle. Hunt straight to Eden.
Good rebound.
Nice work, Macy Duncan.
There's just nothing to connect through the court at the moment for the ERNA Hawks.
McDonald yelling at her troops to come forward. Now trying to feed. Westwood did really well in the air with her body then.
That was a great take.
Great positional move. It's made it difficult for the keeper to get around her and towards the ball.
Yeah, and Duncan was in front position there, but Westwood, as you said, just went up strong and picked it out of the air. The steam's really sort of just gone from this game now. I feel like everyone's just going through the motions at the moment, and it's really important for UTS to continue on strong, because at this point it looks like they're going to be in the grand final next week, and they can't afford to, if it's close, to finish the game a little bit down like this at the moment.
There's a huge 17-goal difference now.
Yes, I think we can safely say we might be seeing UTS v Panthers next week.
Same teams as last year battling it out, although a bit of a switcheroo this time with the Sparks minor premiers last year and the Panthers minor premiers this year.
Well, that'll be interesting to see if history continues that way and we see the Sparks end up winning.
Some news for the UTS St George Sparks. The trial dates for the under-20s and the Opens have been changed or released. You can check that out on their website. And trial for this very team in front of you. But the aim for the Sparks last week was to make good choices on the court, Abby. And although Regan Treadle felt like they did that in that third quarter, it feels like they've been able to do that the full game tonight.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent. There's been a few wayward passes, but as I said earlier, that happens in every game. I feel like UTS have been the more controlled team out of the two tonight. They've had more intensity about them in defence, and it's just felt like there's been 8 of them out on court compared to 7 for ERNA. So I think you'll find that their coach is going to be very pleased with this result, and they'll go into next week feeling pretty confident.
In speaking with Sandy Addard, the ERNA Hawks coach, their aim this week was really to contest the ball and go in hard for everything, be decisive in attack. So deciding to do something, and she said the worst thing they could do is decide to do nothing and just sit there and wait. We've almost seen that again tonight, haven't we, unfortunately?
Yeah, unfortunately we have. I think the only one out of the ERNA Hawks that has been really in there the whole game, and she's actually not on the court at the moment, but it was Lockery in wing defence. I thought she was contesting first ball really well. I was actually really impressed with her. I thought she was doing a really good job out there. Obviously, with the score sitting at what it was when she was taken off, it probably didn't look like it, but off the ball she was doing a lot of hard work. So, yeah, I was really impressed with her, but the rest of the team seemed to have not taken on that as much, and they started off really well, but as the game went on and the score got further and further away from them, they really started to stop with that game plan of contesting all the first balls.
I'm glad you say that, Abby, because sometimes wing defence is a position that's really overlooked, and
that's right.
yourself
that's
being
correct.
one, you're able to give us the insights on what they should be doing here and whether they're doing it well.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit biased when it comes to wing defenders because we can be overlooked sometimes, and that annoys me. So I like to just point it out when I think they're doing a really good job, and I thought Lockery did a really, really good job on Hunt in those first 3 quarters.
Some of these girls played in the New South Wales All Schools competition on Monday, so playing a lot of netball at the moment, as well as HSC and a lot of other things going on in their lives.
God, I don't feel sorry for them. I'm glad it's them and not me. That sounds like too much.
Westwood still able to get the pass via a deflection of Cavern, and Eaton's taking the rebounds. We've got 20 seconds on the clock left in this competition. You can see a Hawk. He's come along to watch tonight. He or she, I don't really know.
I can't help you with that either.
What the bird's anatomy is, but anyway, the Hawks here.
That's
Lovely shot from Dwyer. Nice to see the Hawks still pushing. And there we go. 58-44. It'll be a Sparks and Penrith grand final next week. Replay of last year.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Second year in a row, and it's only been 2 years of Premier League so far, and we've seen the same 2 teams in the grand final. Much closer fourth quarter there. ERNA
15-14.
Yeah, ERNA did a much better job, but I also think UTS might have thought the game was a bit over already leading into that last quarter, which could be bad for them next week. They need to push out for 4 quarters next week if they're going to win that championship.
That's right. The Panthers will take no prisoners. They're a competitive bunch. So we'll be back very shortly with a wrap of all that's just happened out here on court. well. A huge win for the Sparks over the ERNA Hawks tonight, now through to the grand final. What do you have to say about the win, Paige Perotta?
We're happy with the win. It's always great to have another game going to the final series, so we're really excited for next week.
Yeah, so another win, off to the final next week against the Panthers again. How do you think you're going to fare against them? Second year in a row.
Yeah, second year in a row, so hopefully we can do one better than last year. We'll definitely put it to them next week.
Who stood out for you in your team tonight? Who is it that you really were happy with their performance?
I think everyone played a really good game, but in particular the shooters, they really held their own ground and got most of their rebounds, which is always good in the defence end.
All right.
Yeah, so last question for me, I have to ask, what are you going to do differently this week to make sure you beat the Panthers next week?
We're going to deny and dictate space, push them wide, and hopefully, that'll be enough to get over them.
Great answer, Paige. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Now you can watch these same clubs battle it out in the Opens competition on Bar TV, so stick with us. 8:40 that game starts. Be sure to tune in.